Hey, welcome back to How to Barbecue Right. I'm Malcolm Reed. Today I'm going to show you how I do my Mississippi pork roast. Yeah, you heard it. I'm using a big old pork butt here. Got some pepperoncinis, the butter, some pork gravy, the ranch mix. It's going to be a delicious recipe. Let's get to cooking, y'all. So the first thing I got to do is get some seasoning on this pork roast. We're going to get it on the pit and get some color on it. Now for the seasons, I'm keeping it pretty simple. I've got that salt, pepper, garlic, my AP rub. I mixed in some onion powder and some paprika to kind of create this savory rub. Paprika is going to give us some color, not a lot of flavor, but I like the onion tone that we're adding to the AP. You could use whatever season you want on it. I'm really not going for barbecue here. We're going for more of a roast type flavor, but we're still going to get a lot of that good smoke flavor from the pit. Now I've got a 9-pound Boston butt pork roast here today. Got a big old beautiful money muscle on the front of it. Not doing any trimming on it. This one came fine right out of the package. It's got a nice little fat cap on it. I know there's gonna be some good false cap meat underneath that. But I'm just making sure that I get it seasoned on all sides. Then we're gonna let it sweat in a little bit while I fire up the pit. Now you can cook this recipe on any pit. Today I'm cooking on my drum at 275 degrees. I'm gonna fire it up with some Royal Oak lump charcoal and a couple tumbleweeds to get those coals going. Drop that fire basket down in the bottom of the drum and leave the vents wide open. Just before I put the butt on, I'm gonna throw a few chunks of wood on. Got a little hickory, a little cherry going today to give us some good flavor on this pork butt. We're gonna be cooking about 275 today, so check those vents back. All right, we got our grill ready. We're ready to put this butt fat cat down right in the center of this drum. All we gotta do is get the lid back on. We're ready to do some smoking. So now all we're doing is get color on the outside of this butt. It's gonna take it a couple hours. I'm looking for it to start turning dark without getting burnt. So you just wanna watch it. When it gets to about 160 inside, we're gonna wrap it up with all these other delicious ingredients and show you how we're gonna make this Mississippi pork roast. All right, this pork butt's been on for about 2 hours in the smoke. Now check that pork butt out. It's got beautiful color on the outside. It's got that mahogany look. Seasonings are cooked into it. Now we're ready to put some love to it. Let's go wrap it up. So the first thing we're gonna do to this butt is get some pork flavored gravy mix on it. Now on the chuck roast version, we used the beef au jus, but this pork gravy is gonna go right with the pork butt. We're just gonna sprinkle it over the top of it, let some of it go down to the side. You wanna follow that up with one of these ranch packets to sprinkle that right over the top as well. All of it's gonna melt down. It's gonna make this au jus liquid that we're gonna use at the end to rehydrate this pork. Now you wanna put some butter on it. I've got a stick of butter that I've just cut up in pats. I'm just gonna spread it right around the top of the pork butt. I'm gonna let it melt down. It's gonna help blend in all those seasonings with the au jus. And last but not least, you need some pepperoncini peppers. This is what goes in the Mississippi roast. Many or as few as you like. I'm probably gonna go about 8. Some of that juice is in there, that's okay. That's gonna be some flavor. Now we're gonna wrap it up. Bring the foil up and over, tuck it in. Since we've got it laid out, it's super easy to do. Just bring your ends over. Now we can get back in it when we need to check it. But I'm gonna go ahead and stick a probe thermometer in it so I can monitor those internal temperatures. You just wanna go in the thickest part away from the bone. Go pretty deep because it's a pork butt. We're just setting it about 158. That's right where I want it internal. We're ready to put it back on the pit, get it tender. And I'm just setting the pan and all right back on the pit. We still have plenty of coals going down there. We're gonna run the same temps. Keep it about 275. Let's get the lid back on. Double check your vents when you're cooking on a drum because they can move. Just gonna leave it about half gap on top. We still got our openings on the side. We're good. Y'all hear the alarm going off. It's been 5 hours and our pork butt is done. It has hit 200 degrees. Just a hair over, actually. I'm bumping about 202 right now. Coals are still good and hot. We held that temperature steady at 275. Now we gotta take it over to the cutting board and let it rest a little bit, but I wanna vent that steam off of it. So now all I'm gonna do is open this foil up, let some of the steam off. Now it needs to rest for a little while. I'm talking at least a half hour. You could go a couple hours in a dry cooler if you wanted to, but you know I gotta try it before that. So we're gonna go about 30 minutes. Just let the steam out. Beautiful color on top. The butter's melted down. We got plenty of good gravy going in there. That au jus that's cooked out of that pork butt with that butter and those seasonings. Ooh, that's tender right there. And once the steam's vented good, I'm just gonna cover it back up loosely here with the foil. We're gonna let it rest before I pull it apart. All right, we've had this butt sitting here for about 30 minutes. Y'all, that's all I can take. I'm ready to try this piece of meat. And we ain't using no tools, we're using hands to shred this one. Let's see if it's gonna come out of this bath. Oh, look at that juice. This thing feels soft. Let me get these old peppers, hold on. Oh yeah. when the pepper's that good, man. Now let's see if our thermometer tells us this thing's done. This old bone will slide out. One-handed, y'all. Oh, there's a little bit of meat in there, but that's good and tender. Whew. Look how clean that bone slid out of there. That's a thing of beauty. We're gonna put that to the side. Oh, I got a piece right there. Some of that meat around the bone. You don't think it's tender. Look at this. Look how it just breaks up with my hands. That's what you want to see. That's how you know that pork butt's done right there. Take that money muscle off. Look at that thing. Oh, that's money. That's why I do it by hand, so anything that didn't render, so you get a chunk of fat, you don't want to eat that. You're gonna throw that in the garbage. I'm just shredding this butt. There's nothing to it. Y'all, that's some fine pork right there. I shredded this Mississippi pork roast up. I wanted to break it up because I'm using it on a super sandwich. Now you can serve this with mashed potatoes, with rice, some gravy. Heck, drizzle some of this pan juice back over it. It's moist as it could be. Going in for one more bite. You get all those flavors from that ranch packet, the pork gravy mix, the stick of butter making it rich and juicy, the pepperoncini peppers giving it a little bit of tang, seasoning we put on it, and the smoke. That's a Mississippi pork roast if I ever seen one. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us today. If you like what we're doing, subscribe to the channel. You know you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I'm gonna have that super sandwich over there. Y'all check that out too. We'll see y'all next time. Y'all, that's some fine pork right there. Ooh, don't get away from it, baby.